Ah, Bowser. Got no crystal stars. I can't find Princess Peach. Twilight Town wasn't exactly glorious. What's going on here? Mara's gonna steal everything from my grasp as usual. You're Massiveness!
Please never use that title again.
Why? Do you not think of Bowser as your Massiveness?
We both know where this joke is going.
Magic Quiver scouts around a suspicious underground chamber. Not even on any maps. Real suspicious. Something must be there. About time. Well done. This is where it all turns around, definitely. Hammer Pro Italian is attempting to reach the chamber at the moment. Area's impenetrable. There's screaming tooth and nail in there. Strike me there. I'll blast through. I'm Bowser, baby. Oh, yep. This is one of my favorite Bowser interludes. This one's so cool. I love this too. Remember?
Oh.
Ready to roll. His fire can break the fire bars. There we go. So if you want to take this a little bit slower, you can.
Why are there X-Knots here?
That's actually explained. That actually does get explained, Curzon. Okay, I can't break those. Oh god.
I was gonna say you could just ignore him.
I wanted the mate. Ah, damn it. Whoops. Yeah, we can show the funny death thing.
He has different...
He has a bunch of different lines. I'm gonna die on one of these in a minute.
Well, this is normally the one that actually does kill people.
Yes.
Because due to the fire breath and stuff, you're more likely going to die to like a pit or lava. It's also one of those funny things because it's... because the staircase is a bunch of bricks you can easily break. That's actually a bit of a Kaizo trap.
A little bit. Yeah, okay. If you do become... So I might actually skip that. If you run it... That is the one issue where I broke and made a pit. You run across in the right way. So I might skip that second one then. I've had trouble with this in the past too.
Okay, so this is the one that normally does actually kill people.
In my case, I died at the end.
That's normally what happens.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, the funny thing is, it's like you... Instead of running, can you jump on the pipe and not break it from the side?
Actually, hold on. Hit me full. Thanks, man. I'll just use him. Fuck it. Yeah, that works. I think you can. Yep, one of my favorites. And as for the X-Knots, that gets explained in a minute. I do love the... Nothing's stood in your way, you couldn't be more super. Please, no problem. I feel right at home, but where are we now? This is me, look what Bowser on the wall behind you. Could it be? Oh yeah, Crystal Star. Advantage Bowser. Yes, we found one, and now we'll make it ours. Freeze, chumps! Who's there? Don't tell me you don't know the famous rock hog. Little punk weasel, you forgot these muscles. Forget this hugeness.
Stop, game.
Don't ask me how, but you cleared my secret training facility, not too shabby. I even imported some super freaks to up the difficulty.
So they just work for him?
Yes. There you go, Curtin. They explain it in canon. They did that in the GameCube too. Of course, good don't count for squatting this biz, baby. My champ's belt is mine. Oh look, what an adorable little weakling. Hi, fella. Wait, what? Tell me something, you ever seen a weakling do this? Pain.
I do just love the pain.
Ouch. I was leaving, I knew you were a weakling. The crystal's ours. It's what I do!
You know, with the higher fidelity, I kind of wish that they had made the inside make it look like it's made of cardboard or something.
Oh, the font? Mighty well knows it. This is just glass. It's a flim flam. A fake. What are you saying? Use words I know. You want the real one? The great Gonzalez has it. Oh, my aching hair. I love that line. Fill the rock. I don't know anybody named Gonzalez. Stop speaking your riddles, you chicken nugget.
Crud.
Who do I have to flatten to get a crystal star? Damn it. I now know where I'm being held. On the moon, yes. The moon that floats up in space. Also, let me something even more horrifying. In order to resurrect the monster spirit, they need my... The moon? Like the one in space, Princess Peach is on the moon? That actually sounds pretty cool, but why did her email cut off? Things like haven't ever, do you? And now, I will say the thing I said on GameCube. In the code on GameCube, this character, this is Screamy.
Well, you can do the Goombella tattle, see if they updated it to... Oh, Screamy.
No, he's always been Screamy.
He's always been Screamy.
That wasn't the weird thing.
The weird thing is there's an anime marked as that went unused.
Not an anime.
What?
No, it's what this model is attached to in the GameCube version in code.
What?
This was underscore smorg. That's not a smorg.
Yeah.
Heavily implying that the beta design of smorg looked this way. There were also like 5 or 6 different colors of this motherfucker.
And a smorgasbord is just a bunch of random stuff smashed.
So basically, it's heavily implied they just repurposed the
No.
What?
Yeah, no. You wanted to attach the two. Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say, besides getting a few extra things, if you wanted to attach the two Japanese only.
We can do that in a moment. We have a minute, but. Basically, Screamy is a recycled smorg design.
Though if they did have them in multiple colors, that would make sense, because smorg, like I said, if the name comes from smorgasbord, that's a way to describe a bunch of, just random objects clumped together. So, having them all be slightly different...
We can try the one thing, but first...
Would actually make sense.
There's a hidden badge in here. One of the only other badges that's kind of okay, because it's Flower Saver partner.
But you... oh, you both share
Oh,
flower
wait,
forms.
on. Do we have a regular...
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry, boys. I can try that thing. Then I have to go pee again. This happens when we do.
For trying the thing, what are all the items we have in our inventory?
Hold on, let me go pee. Nearing the end of. Coming back. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we actually have just that enough room because it would be the simplest thing to test, and if it works, this shows a bunch of the other recipes might work. A recipe to get something that was normally kind of hard to get is a regular mushroom and a turtley leaf. So you'd have to go back to Petalburg, and if you cook those.
On. If I have one turtley leaf in storage, I can check. If not, I can go get one. Okay.
Oh, actually, we do have a few. Okay,
I'm going to.
That's why I said I can start with this, because if this
doesn't work.
If this doesn't work, they're using the English, like it's
If
English.
this doesn't work, and we're right at the end
Well,
of
that's
it.
why I say we can just test this right quick, where you just saved, you can just
Reset if I need to.
yes.
I can just do an outro and that'll be fine. We'll see.
2 items.
So I saved with the
Regular
mushroom.
and turtle leaf. Moment of truth. Come on, Japanese recipes. Oh, would it normally do that in the original, or was it supposed to be a mistake?
I don't remember.
Because what that's supposed to give you is a life shroom if it's the Japanese recipe. That's what it's supposed to give you as a life shroom. That's why I was like, we can test that one first, because that's far easier. Because the one item that's good, because it puts you at 1 HP, making for easy peril strats, in the Japanese version to get that was a Thunder Rage and Thunderstorm. But that didn't give a life shroom, so that's going to tell me the one recipe doesn't
Probably
work.
doesn't work, unfortunately.
Assholes. Now, to be fair, it was the fast.
Meaning I'm probably going to save. Well,
Good.
not save and end because
Yeah, you just saved before that.
I can do. Off recording, I might practice the mouse thing and waste a minute and try the one recipe just to see if it works by literally resetting the file. So I'm probably about to do my outro then. We did technically beat the chapter. And I can practice the mouse thing, see if I can get that down. Maybe try what Curzon was talking about as well, just to see, but I'm going to reset the file to that previous save. So, with that out of the way, I can end here. That way, I will know if that does work. I could show that on recording. But, with that said, basically, we're done. Now, because of the way events in this game work, like we did on GameCube, the next recording is going to be setting up crazy extreme danger, and if I can get the danger set up properly, I will do the pit. But if the setup is a little bit obnoxious, I might cut a recording a bit short and do some grinding off recording, get the danger set up incredibly well, and then do a different recording for the pit, and maybe tack that small other recording on to the start of the longer pit recording, because the danger setup is a little bit different in this version since they changed the prices of items everywhere in the game for like badges and stuff, including the Pianta Parlor. So it's not as easy getting the extra Power Rush copies because they're way more expensive in this version. And some of the setup is a little bit different, but then otherwise it would be basically the same. So next time I will look at that nonsense and basically determine if I want to grind a little bit on camera or if I want to stop and unfortunately put the Let's Play recordings on a mini hiatus while I painstakingly grind to get enough of the Power Rush badges to trivialize the fights in the pit. Oh, burping. But we can deal with that next time. With that said, this has been another recording of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door on Switch, the remake, or Danger Mario Run on the Switch version, on a Switch. Not doing dumb emulation shit, I've shown that, but anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this set of videos, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. How many of you actually think that this game needs an update to actually optimize the game for the Switch 2, even if that update is basically adding 4K support and bumping the frame rate from 30 FPS to 60 FPS? A lot of people, at the very least, want a frame rate increase, even though I still think the frame rate being increased would be unnecessary, but I wouldn't mind if they did that as long as they adjust the frame timing to count for the new frame rate, since the game on GameCube was 60 FPS. When they put the game on Switch and they dropped the game to 30 FPS, they basically had to adjust the frame timing to account for 30. So if you go back to 60, I would hope that you would basically readjust the frame timing if the update forcibly makes the game 60, because if they update the game to 60 FPS but they don't update the frame timing, that will basically mean the game will actually play worse, because all the moves would basically be reading inputs at 30, but the game would be rendering everything at 60, and that's a problem. if they're going to go in and bump the FPS to 60, that's fine. While I think that's unnecessary, I do think it would be fine if they did it. But you need to adjust all the frame timing. If you don't, this will create a problem. And I wouldn't mind this update because that would shut a lot of people up. Even though I think the game is fine at 30 FPS, but if you update the game to 60 for free, okay, cool. The game's running at 60 FPS now like it did on GameCube, which would be fine. Again, I don't think that's necessary, but that would be cool if they did. This is why I thought this question and this topic would be a fun point of discussion. But anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments. Or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.